Hello, everyone. This is Andrew Fazakis, the Night Sky Guy, here just sharing some amazing live streams that are coming in around the world. Really neat stuff. Being able to see different shows around the world. Hi, guys. Nice of you to join. I hope you're enjoying your evening. And I thought since we're online, we would share some of these live streams coming mostly from Western North America this evening, Monday, the December 21st, all about Jupiter and Saturn getting closest that they've been in 800 years or so, and since the year 1226 to be exact. And here we are looking at a view from the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. That's what you're looking at through one of their telescopes. You see Saturn to the lower right and Jupiter to the upper left. This is a beautiful close-up view through a telescope. You can see the rings of Saturn, and you can clearly see the disk of Jupiter in this particular feed. So this is something that just started a little while ago. Hello, everyone. Hello from Graciela from Argentina. We've got Olia from Portugal. We've got Paul from England. Very nice. Monica from Miami, Florida. Nice of you to join us. Just thought, this is something that I was doing. I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning looking at live feeds from all across the world, starting in Japan at about 5 o'clock this morning. And so now the main event now has shifted to the western portion of North America. Here, lots of feeds going on, and I'm particularly looking at public institutions that are putting a feed. So I'm looking at different places. Here is another one from, this is Mount Wilson Observatory, not too far from LA. Again, looking at Saturn and Jupiter. They're zooming in on their feed. This one is coming from the Chabot Space Center. They've got a live feed as well. This one's coming from a weather station in Houston, Texas. So there's one that's happening there as well. And this one we have is coming from the McDonald Observatory in Texas. McDonald Observatory in Texas also showcasing their live view of the conjunction. I have to say my favorite, though, has to be the Griffith right here. Just beautiful, a beautiful planet. So what you're looking at are two planets in the outer solar system. They're separated by hundreds of millions of miles or kilometers, but they happen to be very close, so close that distance that you see between them in this image here, in this live stream, in the skies above Los Angeles. This is they're separated by hundreds of millions of miles, but what you're seeing is from our vantage point, they seem to be very close. In fact, they're so close that they're only separated by about the same diameter as about 1/5 of the diameter of a full moon. So imagine 20% of how wide the full moon looks in the sky. Very small. So they're so close together that for some people they cannot separate the two planets as looking like two stars with the naked eye. And so a telescope will do a good job, as you can see here clearly. I can see folks even from Kim from New Zealand. Very nice. So glad you could join us. This is incredible, Gene. Yeah, I agree. Just to be able to share this with all of you guys, I thought I'd just pop in and share that. Senka from Victoria, British Columbia. Thank you for joining us. This is fantastic. We've got Angie from Ontario, Canada, joining us. This is a wonderful view, again, from the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. Beautiful area. I've been there before. Fantastic facility, a public facility. And here we have a beautiful view thanks to them. Thought I'd share it with you of what they're putting on. Just different views from different places. It's kind of neat to be able to to check. This is through an 8-inch telescope at the Mount Wilson Observatory, also just outside of LA in Southern California. You can clearly see Saturn to the left and Jupiter to the right. Jupiter's, of course, much bigger, larger than Saturn, closer to Earth. And so it just looks more spectacular, definitely. What else do we have? We have this one from, I think the Lowell. Is this the Lowell Observatory? Let me see. I'm going to reload. This one looks like it's having problems. Sure, they've got thousands of viewers on these feeds. Each one of them is just crazy how much attention they're getting. I guess with all the pandemic lockdowns and stuff, not many people are traveling. Looks like they've shut down at the Chabot Center. They're having some kind of difficulties, perhaps. But Mount Wilson is still up. Beautiful. They've got a beautiful live view again from the Mount Wilson Center Observatory, and the Griffith, just gorgeous. Just a gorgeous, they've got a great feed going on here. I really like, you can see clearly the disk of Jupiter. It's a large disk. Over 1,200 Earths could easily fit inside. Isn't that amazing? I think so. It's just amazing. Oklahoma, Paula from Oklahoma, nice of you to be here. Fresno, Tina, my old haunt in Fresno, California. Yes. Cloudy skies in Guyana. Oh, Fiona, I'm so sorry to hear, but at least you can share a little bit here of what's going on around the world in terms of the conjunction and see it virtually. That's what it's about. Stacy says she saw it in Tennessee, and it's pretty with the naked eye. It looks like a bigger star with a few more flares around it. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to see the description of this conjunction of these two planets from different people from different parts of the world. It's really interesting to see how people interpret what they're seeing. Some folks can see two separate stars. Others just see one singular star. And it really depends on your eyesight, too. Enrique from Honduras, hello. Very nice of you to join. Vancouver, Washington, Rebecca, Jackie from Chicago. Fantastic. Shout out to you guys. Michael from Costa Rica. Very, very nice. Ben says in La La Land here, halfway between Griffith and Mount Wilson. That's fantastic. So it's in your neighborhood, your neck of the woods here. And you're coming to me in Montreal, Canada, where I am. Snowy Canada. Totally socked in with clouds, by the way. I had no chance to see this conjunction tonight. I was lucky. I went out on Thursday and Friday last week, knowing that probably I'd be clouded out to to be able to see it. And you could check out my my video feeds that I did on Friday, December 18th. I did a live stream from my neighborhood just outside of Montreal. Lots of snow, minus 10 degrees here on Friday, but it was really cool to see them so close. And now today on December 21st, we've got the two planets much more closer. I mean, they are really tight together, so much so that many people with just the naked eye cannot tell the difference of separate them. If you have a telescope, you can see this. This is the view that you would see through a backyard telescope under high magnification. Both of these planets in one view. This is something that no human has ever seen, because the last time this happened, when we saw both of these planets like this together, that you're seeing here from the Griffith Observatory live just outside of Los Angeles, beautiful view, live view. The last time humans saw these two planets close to it, there were no telescopes. Remember, this was in 1226 AD. That's when Genghis Khan was still around. A lot of the Christian crusades were going on. Marco Polo's trips to China, that was still like half a century in the future still at that point. There were no telescopes. Telescopes were invented 400 years almost later after this event. So without the benefit of having a close-up magnification like what you're seeing here in these views, humans did not really understand what we were seeing. We just saw two stars coming close together. But we know much more than that now. Of course, we know that these are two neighboring worlds, giant worlds onto their own. Over 1,200 Earths could fit inside of Jupiter. That's how big this planet. The gas giant Saturn holds retinue to dozens of moons onto its own, and that beautiful rings you can see clearly right here on this live video. That there it is, voila, Saturn and its rings. Just a beautiful, beautiful view. Sirius Salamander says, I don't have clear skies where I am. Oh, that's great. I'm glad I could show you stuff. Cindy says, cloudy here in southern Ontario, but happy to watch virtually. Valeria in Italy, they looked very, very close to what she saw as well. Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and Joey says he tried to get a glimpse but couldn't get quite a picture. Pillar says, thank you for the video. Happy solstice, everyone. World peace. Yes, it is solstice. You know, it's not just the conjunction. It's also, of course, the solstice. Summer solstice for those in the northern hemisphere. And, the winter solstice for the northern hemisphere and the summer solstice for those in the southern hemisphere. I wish it was summer where I am, but no, it's middle of, practically it looks like middle of winter, but we just started winter, of course, the winter season here in the northern hemisphere where I am. Did everyone bring some whiskey? I know. Good morning from Turkey. Very, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. That was from Suna. Sue from Milford, Michigan. Nice of you to join us as well. And Gia from Vero Beach, Florida. And it's absolutely a gorgeous sight. So those of us on the East Coast of North America, the conjunction is basically now hidden from below. It's gone below the horizon. So that's why we're looking at cameras out on the West Coast. So here again, this is a view from the Griffith Observatory. We're going to look to see other views. Let me see. This one's coming in from Mount Wilson Observatory, again in Southern California. Let's reload this feed and see if we can get something out of them. Everything is loading a little slow tonight because of it looks like they are on hiatus as well. Let me see. Yeah, it's having problems loading on that one as well. And they're offline there. And there we are. We're back to the Griffith. Again, a pretty good view. A pretty good view, I would say. Looking at that. Let's see if we can change viewpoint. You can see there you go. There's Saturn and Jupiter. Donna says it's cloudy in Nova Scotia. What kind of telescope are they using? Well, it depends. At the Griffith, usually these are these could be Schmidt-Cassegrain type of telescopes, which is a combination of really a mirror and some lenses. But really, these backyard telescopes can show you these. And if you look closely, you'll see on this image right here, there's a couple of little dots on either side of Jupiter. Those are the moons of Jupiter. And if you have just a pair of binoculars too, that is something that you can use to see the moons of Jupiter. They are easily visible with just that. I mean, it's incredible to see this. So we're looking through scopes basically that are live attached digitally with a digital camera to the internet, and that's what we're allowed. That's how we're allowed to see through these telescopes, and they're basically live. It's a live feed, so it's really, really cool. Bruna in Victoria, BC. Oh, it's still daylight in New Zealand. Yes, that's true. So you have to wait your turn for the evening again to be able to see this wonderful pair. Jim, you're welcome for the live show. And Jim says it's cloudy in Houston, Texas. Well, I'm glad I could just point to some of these so you don't miss it, just for a little bit tonight to share what some of these feeds are about. I particularly like The Griffith Observatory feed, I find it's a nice feed with Saturn in the lower right and Jupiter just off left of the center there. Which way is this looking? It's looking towards the southwest skies, Gia. That's the direction of the sky that these telescopes are pointed at. And it's getting low in the southwest, and it will be kind of sinking and following the sun. That's why there's a limited window in actually being able to watch these. So there you go. You can see Saturn there at the lower right. Clouds in Minneapolis, David says. Tint Black Rabbit says, hello from Calgary. It's snowing now. Ah, yes. Us Canadians are very familiar with snow, aren't we? There we are. That's right, Tino. Just with binoculars, you can actually see the moons of Jupiter. If you hold them very, very steady, though, it has to be very steady to see that. Yes, you need to get some binoculars. It's a good stopgap measure between using the unaided eye and telescopes to have that kind of, in between. It's really, really cool. Joe says it's too cloudy in Chicago. My gosh, a lot of you guys are clouded out, aren't you? I'm not the only one, so I don't feel so bad. I guess I'm in good company here. And we get to enjoy some live streams from the lucky guys out on the west coast of North America. Again, this one is from Griffith Observatory in LA. Anna agrees that she gets to see it with binoculars too, definitely. Kim says she's been watching over the last 3 nights. It's been awesome. And yes, it's still daytime here in New Zealand. Yeah, we're on this giant ball we call Earth, and we have to wait for it to spin on its axis. Each of us to get our turn in our geographical area, right? To get our turn on to look at the same event as the Earth spins on its axis. Folks on the West Coast now are able to see it. Then those in the Pacific Basin the ocean will be able to see it. Asia will get their turn, and so on. And, even if you're watching and it's already Tuesday, and then, of course, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday come, this will be still visible for the rest of the week. As the two planets pull away from each other, they'll still be quite a sight to see, definitely. And it's fun watching them kind of pull apart, too. That'll be kind of neat. And oh yeah, I guess I'll give you a little heads up on something, guys. I will have a nice article coming out in National Geographic Online on their news section on my take, Night Sky Guy's take on the best sky watching sites for 2021. That should be coming out in a matter of a few days. I just wrapped up that article, and I've chosen 10 of my picks of what to look out for next year. And I'll tell you, it's a busy year. There's lots of stuff. And a little heads up on something, guys. Don't tell anyone, but there's some more conjunctions like this coming our way with other planets. So stay tuned for that. So watch out for my article on nationalgeographic.com. Of course, I'll be posting a link, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Welcome. If you like this video and you like the things that I do, show your support and follow me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow me on Facebook as well, and you won't miss any of my live streams that I do every week about what to see in the night sky, and of course other neat things like space rocket launches, astronomical discoveries. There's always something happening, and of course I regularly post sky charts so you don't miss any of the easy to see things. I don't concentrate on things where you need to be in the with a giant telescope looking through sky charts for hours and trying to find something that'll take you years to figure out. I do only easy things that you, no matter if you're living in the city or in the countryside, can take a few minutes out of your evening and just check it out. Share with family and friends as well. great view here, by the way, guys, from Griffith Observatory, live in LA, Southern California. Just beautiful. I can clearly see a moon here, jumping around another moon. These are what we call the Galilean moons of Jupiter. Of course, named after Galileo, our friend, Italian astronomer friend, who in 1609 turned the telescope, for the newly invented telescope, I might add, to the sky and saw Jupiter as a disk for the first time, and revealed what it actually looked like. I mean, this is an incredible view. Thank you very much for Griffith Observatory for this. It really is beautiful. I'm glad we could just tune in. We can see what others are doing as well. Let's see, Mount Wilson offline again. Looks like Griffith is the guys to give us the views for this evening. I'm so happy that I can bring this to you. You're welcome, Jan. You're welcome. Suna says, thank you so much for this live broadcast. We should read your article in Nat Geo. Definitely. I'll be posting a link. As soon as it comes out, I'll post a link right here in my Facebook and YouTube channel, whichever you are watching. Betsy says, save Arecibo. Yes, the Arecibo Radio Observatory, that beautiful dish that's 1,000 feet wide that recently collapsed. My heart broke. It's a huge loss for radio astronomy, for science at large. Hopefully they will fund a rebuilding of that radio telescope, definitely. Tina, you're welcome. I'm very happy to be able to share this. And Valerie, thank you. It's raining here, she says. Western Oregon, love this. Pamela, Lafayette, Colorado. Brennan says, thank you for live streaming for a beginner astronomy. You're welcome. Yes. And this is cool, right? So you're looking at two planets. They look like stars to the naked eye. So if you would look at the sky at these two planets that we see here live streaming through a large telescope in Los Angeles, if you actually went out and looked at this, you would see them as stars, as bright stars. Jupiter would be the brighter of the two. Saturn would be a fainter, much fainter naked eye star. And they were very, very close now. And over the course of the week, if you get a chance to look towards the southwest, you'll see these two stars slowly separate day by day apart from each other. It's really neat. Wendy's in the Bay Area. John says he was able to photograph a couple before a large cloud blew in. Please share, John, if you have some photos on my Facebook. I'd love to see it. Cody says, sadly, it's very foggy and overcast in the valley of, is that Nova Scotia, I guess? Thank you for showing it for us and those of us who won't get to view it otherwise. I know, my heart was breaking. I wish I could have been out there looking at this tonight. But alas, I'm in Montreal, Canada, and it's cloudy. I got my chance on Thursday and Friday last week, and you could check out my conjunction preview live stream. A lot of you guys have watched it. I think it's raked up over, I think it was last time I checked, over 13,000 views. You guys love that. Obviously, it's live. I love doing it outside, and I'd love to do more of that, of course, pending the clouds go away, of course. Yes, Sharon says, missing clouds. So many of you were clouded out. It's incredible. Kelly, Las Vegas, Nevada, checking in. Definitely visible from within the city of Las Vegas. Exactly. Great point. I'm so happy that, Kelly, you say that, because that's exactly the point I've been making, is that don't shy away from going out and looking. If you got clear skies, this is something soon after sunset. I would say the sweet spot's about 30 minutes to an hour after your local sunset, looking low towards the southwestern sky. So sort of left of where, the far left of where the sun sets is where you're looking for this two stars that are so close together. And it's something you can do even in the city. I mean, even under a lot of light pollution, as long as you've got an unobstructed view towards the southwest, you can see this. Dana says it's clouds and rain in Pennsylvania. Thank you. So glad you're thinking. You're welcome. You're so welcome, everyone. Ryan from Northern Indiana, cloudy, you too. Stephanie, cloudy in Michigan. What is this? So who's not cloudy? Well, who are you? Who in this group here tonight, all of you guys watching, who here has clear sky? Seattle, Glenn, you've got cloud and rain? Oh my gosh. That's too bad. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Too quick in Wisconsin all week, Jerry says. Uh, Jessica says she's impressed how crazy. She says she's crazy how big they are. Yeah, they are big planets, definitely, and they look impressive. That's the actual discs of the planet. And look, you can see Saturn's rings clearly. Clearly, isn't that amazing? Florida too cloudy. San Antonio cloudy. Uh, Maxine, thank you. Clear in Tennessee. Get your buddies in Tennessee to see this. It's impressive. Cloudy in New Jersey. Arizona's clear. Yay! Clear as a bell in northern Utah. Excellent. Beautiful skies in Utah. Jealous. I'm jealous. Jealous. San Diego, clear skies. Good. This is the time to go out and see this. Isn't this beautiful? I can't believe that we can actually see even the moons of Jupiter here on this broadcast. I don't know if it's coming out for you guys, but there's a little dot here and another dot here beside Jupiter. Those are the two I can pick out that are clearly the moons of Jupiter. Remember, these are moons that Galileo, back in the early 1600s, was the first to actually see them. That's why we call them the Galilean moons. There's 4 of them that you can see with a backyard telescope. Jupiter has many more moons, dozens and dozens of moons, but those are the 4 that are clearly visible. Very clear skies in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Beautiful to see. Thank you for sharing. Of course, my pleasure, Nancy. So happy you could be here. Foggy in Fresno. I'm not surprised. I remember living in Fresno, California. Back in the day in the 90s, I was there working at the Fresno Zoo. I actually worked at the Chaffee Zoo, Zoological Gardens, and in the education center. And I remember fog at this time of the year. Definitely not good for sky watching, I think. How many miles away are these planets? Well, let me see. Jupiter is about 800 million kilometers, and then Saturn is about 1.2 billion kilometers. But what would that be in miles? Let me ask Alexa. Alexa, how many miles is 800 million kilometers? She's not answering. She doesn't like me anymore. Well, that's in kilometers. In Canada, we use the metric system. Clear in Redondo Beach. Nettie, get outside and look at this. It's awesome. This is cool watching it like this. Maybe you could take this broadcast out on your phone and look towards the southwest. It's really worth looking. Oh, good. Clear sky in North Carolina, but could not just see it with just the eyes. Try it with binoculars. Definitely binoculars. It's a cinch to see it. And you'll easily separate the two, just like what you're seeing here. Yes. Lucy says she's got clear skies. This is very good. Promising. Foggy in Toronto. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, just down the road from me. Southwestern Ontario is overcast, so it's not just here in southern Quebec. Waiting in Hawaii, Trisha. Yes, this is just to whet your appetite, Trisha. It's coming to you. The Great Conjunction. You're next in line to see it. Definitely do go outside and look. There we go. I knew somebody would come to my rescue. Cedar says 800 million kilometers is 497,000 miles. Excellent. That's 497 million, I should say, miles. So there you go. That's the distance of Jupiter. And we said that, I think I said that Saturn was 1.2 billion kilometers from us. So there you go. Clear sky in California, Anna says. Alberta, cloudy and snowing. Eastern Wisconsin, Ladona says, is cloudy. Thank you, Ladona. Trisha says, we saw it last night. Well, yes. So get your chance. Just because this is like the peak night for this event and all the brouhaha and buzz is around now, you'll see it amazing tomorrow and on Wednesday and Thursday. It'll be slightly moving away from each other, but very slightly. But you'll clearly be able to see both planets when they do separate more, even those of us that don't have the best eyesight anymore, and I know I'm one of those, it'll be much easier to see. That's for sure. Definitely. Clear in Saskatchewan. Waited to see it, but could not see it. Aw, well, don't give up because it is not hard to see as long as you know where and when to look. The magic time is really a little bit later at dusk. So it's not right after sunset. That's the best time to see. You want your skies to darken a bit to see the conjunction anytime this week, right? So we're talking, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour after sunset. I've noticed when I was viewing it, you'll see in my live streams that I've posted on Facebook and YouTube from December 18th, there was this sweet spot where suddenly Saturn really popped into view. Jupiter was much easier to see because it's just simply so bright. But Saturn, that's the tricky one. And that is really best seen when it gets a little bit darker. And then suddenly, boom, it just pops into view. So here we're looking, again, those of you that are just joining, through the telescope at the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles in Southern California, live views of Saturn and Jupiter in this epic conjunction, this great conjunction that we haven't seen since the year 1226 AD. Isn't that interesting, eh? I thought it would be interesting. That's right. So you can see the moons, Bernadine. Definitely, you can see the moons through pictures too. It snaps some photos. Slightly cloudy in Houston, Jennifer says. Houston, Texas. Fiona's wondering if extraterrestrials are looking at this event. I don't know. That's a good question. Wonder if there's other life. But of course, this view that we see, remember this, Fiona, that this view that you're seeing is from our vantage point here on Earth. So I guess if there was any extraterrestrials to see this and to see it like how we're seeing it, they'd have to be on our planet looking up too, as we are. So definitely. Snowing on Olympic Peninsula, Washington. What a beautiful area, Christy, that you are. I had the good fortune of visiting there a few years back. I was on a tour for National Geographic. I was in Seattle doing a tour as a companion to their TV docudrama series, Mars, if any of you tuned into that docudrama series. And so National Geographic sent me on a tour along with some NASA scientists talking about Mars exploration and the future of that. And I went through Seattle, went to Phoenix, Arizona, did a performance of our show in Santa Monica Theater too, in LA as well. It was just fantastic, just a great time. And in the Seattle area, Washington area, the wilderness there is just unbelievable. Utah, Sharon says, great. It's very nice in Hurricane, Utah. I love the name, Hurricane. My pleasure. I love sharing this, guys. I'm glad you can see it. So this is basically, again, just a view through a telescope live from the west coast of North America. They're getting their chance. Here on the East Coast, there were other public institutions like colleges and universities and backyard astronomers that had been live streaming all day. Europe had their chance as well earlier in the day. And of course, a lot of the events started in Asia. And I picked up some live streams from Japan, like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I was up at 5 watching some of that. Yes, I'm kind of crazy. I love these events, but for astronomy, sometimes you just gotta push through, and these events just won't wait for you. They just happen. So here we are. Greetings from Germany, Catherine. Nice of you to join us. Thank you. Yeah, this is an epic event, really. I mean, to think of historically, to put this, into context, what this is about. It's two planets that from our line of sight here as Earthlings get to see them super close. And that hasn't been seen by humans for about 800 years, 8 centuries, 1226 AD to be specific. And back then there were no telescopes, so they didn't have the benefit of technology like we have of showing being able to see these two planets as disks, right? They saw them as just stars. Just all they had were their eyes. There were no optical aids that they could use to see this. So this is something that's special. We're very fortunate to live in the time that we do, to be able to see these worlds like this, like what you are doing now. We're sharing, and we're all over the world. You guys are scattered throughout the world, and we're all coming together in this one channel, on this, the Night Sky Guide channel, right? On this one broadcast, this one live stream. And we're sharing this view from Los Angeles, from one specific geographical location, one little tiny point on the globe in Los Angeles, at the Griffith Observatory, through one single telescope connected to the internet. And it's showing all of us around the world this particular view. That would be, if you were there in Los Angeles at the Griffith Observatory, you would be looking, if they'd unhooked this camera, you would look through the telescope. This is what you would see with your eye looking through the telescope. But here, this way, everyone gets to see at the same time around the world. It's so lucky, so fortunate. I thank people at the Griffith for doing this. It's great. I'm just peeking in through the different windows, and it's just interesting to see that we've lost a lot of the other shows around that are going. And this is, I find, the best here. Clear skies in Sonora, California. That's fantastic. Cannot see anything in New Jersey, Teresa says. Well, that's why we're sharing this. That's why we're sharing this. So just take a look at this, guys. Just think that, this is something that 8 centuries in the making. And, by the way, there was another conjunction, close approach of these two planets about 400 years ago. But it happened too close to the sun for us to view it. From our vantage point, they were just, we were blinded by the sun. So no human would have probably noticed anything, wouldn't have the capability to see it. So it has happened. So we'd have to go back 8 centuries to the last time this actually happened like this. Now, this will happen again in decades to come. In a few decades, we'll have, I'm not quite remember exactly if it was the year 2080, something like that, but it won't be as close as this. This is really a historical event to be able to see it like this. And in the course of human history, this is the first time. What you're seeing right here, this is the first time that humans get to see these two planets that are, they are old friends to backyard sky watchers, these individual planets. It's the first time humans, through the course of history, can see them close together like this. We've never seen them this close through a telescope. Benefit of having that. This is the first time in history. There's only a first, right? So after this, in the future, in centuries from now, they can look back at, well, this was the moment in human history when we were able to see these two planets this close through a telescope. Because 800 years ago, there were no telescopes. We had to wait until the early 1600s for that invention. And Galileo was one of the first individuals to look up with that newly invented, very primitive telescope, by the way. Most binoculars today have more power than that old-fashioned, very simple telescope that Galileo used. And what I want you guys to notice as well, if you can clearly see in the lower right, there's Saturn. You can see the rings of Saturn. It really does look like that with a telescope. That's what's so incredible. You can see the rings right there. If you will look through a backyard telescope, if you have one dusting away, this is a great opportunity to bring it out and look through it and see those rings for yourself. Jill says, skies over Denver are crystal clear. So lucky to see them bright and beautiful in the night sky. Jill, that's fantastic. That's what it's about, is seeing it for yourself, is being part of history, I guess, in a sense. And boy, 2020 has been such a crazy year. We need something good. We need something fun, something to distract ourselves from all the craziness and and negativity and things. I mean, luckily we have a vaccine coming. We have a 2021 that looks like it's a big turning point for us, but it's kind of nice to have something to distract us. So the celestial event like this that really is just beautiful, and it's something that we can share around the world. That's what we're doing here. We're sharing this around the world. And you guys probably know I work for Astronomers Without Borders, a wonderful nonprofit, international nonprofit. I've been with them for 6 years. I do live streams for them. I do a lot of communication for AWB because they do great work building community around the world through the passion of astronomy, the wonders of the night sky. So it really speaks to me. And I love their motto, which is one people, one sky. And this is it, guys. This right here, what you're seeing, this is what it's about. It's an event, a celestial event in the sky that's bringing the entire world together. Yes, we're watching together. We are sharing this. Well, if you want to share it on Facebook, you can just share there's a link just underneath your window of this live stream, and click on the share, and you can share it with your network. As easy as that. Rachel would like to see it, but it's snowing where she lives. Of course, I've had my share of snow too this last day or so. What time is it actually occurring in Canada, I've been asked? Well, it's really dependent on where you are geographically. So it's about a half hour to an hour after your local sunset, wherever you are. That is the best time to see it. So it's not tied to a specific time in that sense. It's tied to the specific time of your geographical location. So in this case, my recommendation is going out about a half hour after your local sunset. Look towards the southwest. That's where you'll see a bright star. That's Jupiter. If you look more carefully, maybe use binoculars if you need it, you'll see that Saturn is sitting just next to that bright star. It's a fainter star, very close to Jupiter. And those two are at their closest tonight. That's where we are right now. Oh, it's snowing in Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada, Laura. Yes, I know. Too cloudy in Winnipeg, Debbie. Love Winnipeg. Love the peg. Heather says you're enjoying the solstice. Great. Happy solstice to you as well. Happy solstice to everyone. Yes, we're changing seasons officially. It's kind of neat that the conjunction fell on the solstice at the same time. And by the way, those of you that have stuck with me in this live stream, you know that there's something else happening tonight in the sky, and we haven't talked about it, and you probably haven't heard very much about it. I wonder if you guys know what there is another celestial event. If you tuned into my weekly Monday live stream, Night Sky Live, so you know what I'm talking about. There is one more thing happening tonight. Anyone guess? Another celestial event. If you've got clear skies, it's good. Any guess? Close. Not the Perseids, Jan, but meteors. Emily, that's right. Behind the clouds. That's right, Emily. Yes, we have a meteor shower. It's a small one, a minor one, nothing super fantastic, not like the Geminids or the Perseids that are so famous. This cousin, it's the poorer cousin, and it's kind of forgotten. It's called the Ursid meteor shower. And the Ursids should give you a clue that it refers to Ursa Major, the Great Bear constellation. And as with all meteor showers, the Ursids are named after the constellation where they appear to radiate out from. So tonight is the peak night for this minor meteor shower. It comes around every year around the winter solstice, December 21st. In late night tonight into the early morning hours of Tuesday morning, December 22nd, is when you want to watch for shooting stars. Not many. We're talking about 5 to 10 shooting stars per hour. If you're in a dark location, you'll see a lot more. But if you're stuck within city limits, you'll see fewer. Maybe a fireball over the course of the night. We don't know. The only way to know is if you go outside and look, right? So check that out. It's the Ursid meteor shower. You look towards the north. That's where the Great Bear, remember, that's where the Big Dipper is, the back end of the Great Bear. and where the North Star is, that's kind of where it originates. But it doesn't matter. You need to know that. Face generally in the northern direction. Got clear skies, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere. Those of you, my friends in the southern hemisphere, you're kind of out of luck with this. Probably won't see it. But anyone across the northern hemisphere, especially those of you in higher latitudes, like along the Canada-U.S. border, and you'll have great ringside seat for it. So if you got clear skies tonight, other than the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, as the darkness falls out, especially for those of you out West Coast, you'll get to see meteors. That's right, Lisa, meteors, otherwise known as shooting stars. And it is a lot of fun, Tina, I agree. It is a lot of fun to see it. So that's what else is in store for tonight. So you don't want to miss that, is the Ursid meteor shower. Comes along every year, December 21st. But for now, what are we watching now? Of course, here we are watching Jupiter and Saturn, their epic conjunction. They're at their ultimate closest right now as we're speaking tonight. They've reached their ultimate close approach to each other. Some in the media have said this is as Jupiter and Saturn are kissing each other, but I guess that would be with the unaided eye because they look like one single star. But here through this telescope in Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles that we're looking this live stream right now, you can clearly see this beautiful view of Jupiter is on the left, Saturn's on the right. You can see them as disks. They're not points of light through a telescope. Amba's asking, how long will this alignment last? Well, it's tonight that they're the closest. And as the days go on the rest of this week, they'll slowly move apart, but very slowly. So keep watching over the course of this week and next week. It's really neat. I've been watching them for months as they come close together. Where am I located? I am in Montreal, Canada. That's along the eastern coastline of North America. I'm about 6 hours north drive from New York City, about an hour and a half from the border with the United States. And there's a lot of light pollution where I live, but it's great. I've been able to see this last week, just wonderful. Great view of the rings, definitely, Heather. I mean, it just looks like doesn't it look like it's been just like cut out? It's like a paper cutout and just stuck there on this black screen. That's what it kind of looks like. But it's really amazing to think that, you're looking at a planet. Both of these are gas giants. They're the largest planets in the solar system. Remember that. And Saturn and its rings, just to give you an idea, the rings themselves are made of billions of ice particles, mostly little chunks of ice. Much of them are, some of them are the size of a grain of sand. Some of them are the size of a giant house, even. And they are circling around the planet. And one of the biggest mysteries has been, where did these rings come from? Well, we think that one leading theory for Saturn's rings, like you could see those rings right here in front of your eyes, right there live from Griffith Observatory Telescope in Los Angeles. You can see it live. Those rings perhaps may have been made millions of years ago when a wayward asteroid or comet smashed into an ancient moon of Saturn. It basically just completely demolished the moon. It exploded on impact. And all those bits of pieces of that ancient moon went into orbit and a disk around Saturn. And that's what we're seeing. Now, what that means is that Saturn wasn't born 4.5 billion years ago when all the planets in the solar system were born. Saturn was not born with rings. It came later in its life. And we just are lucky to live in an epoch when we see this planet with these beautiful, majestic rings. Because in the far distant future, maybe 100 million years from now, in the future, these rings may actually be gone. They'll probably be sucked in by the gravity of Saturn and burn up in the atmosphere, much of those particles, and it'll be again ringless Saturn. So we kind of are lucky to live in Saturn's life history in its evolution, where there are these absolutely beautiful rings. And by the way, those rings are only about 5 kilometers wide. They're not that wide at all. And how far they span? Well, you could fit Saturn from one end of the ring to the other end of the ring within the space between Earth and the moon. So they would fit inside the space between Earth and the moon. So it's just. And so that's pretty, tells you how big Saturn is a bit there. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad. Yeah, little tidbits to appreciate this view, because, you know, you're looking at this and you're going, okay, so I'm seeing the circle on the left and I see this oblong blotch on the right. And okay, so what are these? It's knowing what they are. It's appreciating the views that you're getting here, to understand that this isn't just, you know, a blemish on a lens or something small in the sky. These are huge, enormous worlds. We've sent spacecrafts to these planets, robotic emissaries, and we've seen them up close. But to see them like this from Earth, it really tells that how large these planets are, that despite their vast distances, 800 million kilometers for Jupiter, 1.2 billion kilometers for Saturn, it really is incredible that we can see these things, you know. And here we are. I mean, you could see this through your backyard telescope, but here we are. We're really lucky. We're clouded out. We may not have the technology. We may not have a telescope. We may not know how to find these things, but here we are. We have a connection to a telescope in Los Angeles at the Griffith Observatory, looking up at their sky in LA and showing us this beautiful view. I think it's just gorgeous. This is something that's just really amazing. I'm so happy that I could share this with you, all of you guys watching. It's just neat to see it. Neat to be able to see this view, live view, beautiful live view of these two planets. And of course, they're shining. Remember, they're not like stars, so they don't produce their own light. They're actually reflecting the sunlight, the same sunlight that we get here on Earth. It's reflecting off the cloud tops of both of these giant planets. They're highly reflective, the clouds that externally enshroud these planets, right? So there's no like surface to land on either of these worlds. There's just giant balls of gas, basically, and lots of clouds, and they're bright clouds. And so the sunlight reflects off those clouds and bounces off of them and then travels through space to reach your eye here. And I mean, it takes quite a distance. I mean, there are, like I said, at 800 million kilometers away, it takes, you know, a better part of an hour for the light to reach our eyes. So what you're seeing here, we're looking at Jupiter as it appeared, you know, something like 45 minutes ago or something like that. And Saturn, you know, over an hour ago, you know, an hour and 10 minutes ago, what it looked like. So we're looking back in time, what I'm saying. Because light, the speed of light, remember, is 300,000 kilometers per second. 300,000 kilometers per second. That's the speed that a particle of light travels through space. And with that incredible speed, it still takes a better part of an hour for the light to reach us from these planets. So think about that. That means that you're looking at what the planets looked like in the past. That's what you're seeing here. You know, if there was a magical way of some godlike creature hiding the planet, you know, from our view, it would take almost a better part of an hour for us to see that effect, right? So it's traveling back in time. That's what this is about. And it's really good. And I'm so happy to share this with all of you. Katie says, thank you, as we've had cloud cover here in Australia last night. Couldn't pull the telescope out to see, so thank you. My pleasure. I'm so happy to share this moment with you, Katie. I'm so happy that all of you could drop by my little live stream. And this is something that I view. I'm here at my office viewing this, and it's just something, you know, it's not the same as actually seeing it with your own eye, but it's kind of cool being all together and seeing this. Too many clouds, eh, Amba? I know. You saw the moon bright? Yeah, the moon has been very, very brilliant. Definitely. Definitely. So it's gorgeous, it's historic, something that we can share together on this night, Monday, December 21st. We're heading into holiday season. And what a great celestial gift. What a beautiful gift this is to us, isn't it? That we can share together. It's something that really puts things into perspective. And hopefully, it's something that brings some peace, a moment of mindfulness, kind of takes away some of the mental distress that some of us have been, experiencing over time, loneliness perhaps. A lot of different things going on, isn't there? But look at this, isn't it? It's just such a peaceful moment, quiet, except for me babbling. I just love it. Once in a century event and it's cloudy. Murphy's Law. Yeah, I hear you, Emily. Yeah, I know. But there's always another event around the corner. There's going to be more other celestial events. There'll be eclipses, lunar eclipses, solar eclipses coming, conjunctions, meteor showers, and probably some surprise comets that we don't know about yet that'll be coming our corner of the universe. Um, you'll see. You got to be patient and you got to be ready, and don't shy away from don't be a couch potato and sit there. Take the moment, grab the moment, and look up, whether it be through your bedroom window. You're living on in an apartment building somewhere downtown. You can still look out and see amazing things. You could see the planets. You could see the moon. You could see some of the brightest stars, even within city limits. You don't have to be in the Namib Desert or the Kalahari or the Sahara to see beautiful sights. It's up for the taking wherever you are. Christine says you're learning a lot from my babbling. Keep babbling. Well, it comes from being so passionate over a lifetime. You could probably tell I'm really excited about this, and of course, I get energy from all of you virtually being here, commenting, just spending a few moments together. It's neat. That's what it's all about, by the way. And please, I welcome you to come and visit me on my channels, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Come on by. Follow me if you like these videos, please. And subscribe if you'd like to see more live streams, more information about the night sky in easily digestible bits and pieces. That's what it's about. And for those of you that are new here too, don't forget, for the next few weeks, I'll be giving away copies of my book from National Geographic, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky, from National Geographic, printed published last year. I'm so excited. It's currently a bestseller on multiple lists on Amazon currently. So you can find it with astronomy, general science. Check it out. It's really cool. It's available everywhere that books are sold. And on my Monday broadcast for the next few weeks, I'll be giving one of these books to a lucky winner. So stay tuned. Come on by to my broadcast on Monday. That's coming up. Every week, I'll give one for the next few weeks. And I thank National Geographic for helping us out and spreading the goodness of the night sky. That's what it's all about. Yeah, it was a work of love to put that book together for me. It's based on a lot of my night sky sessions I've had with people of all ages. I've taught stargazing at colleges for adult education. I've written high school textbook about astronomy and stargazing. I've done a lot of different things in being able to connect with people and learning how people learn. How do people pick up information, and what information do people really need to know when it comes to learning about the night sky? And surprisingly, it's quite simple. And that's what I like to keep it simple. And that's what this is. We're keeping it simple tonight because we're watching through a beautiful telescope in Los Angeles at the Griffith Observatory. Highly recommend that facility. It's just a beautiful place, just looking above Los Angeles. And we're looking through a telescope tonight at a live view of Jupiter and Saturn. It's really cool. Tina, my shows are on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 1800 hour Universal Time. 1800 Universal Time, and that's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast of North America. That's one every Monday. I have the night sky this week. I just finished one broadcast a few hours ago. You can check that out on my timeline. Check it out on YouTube as well. It's there archived, and it goes through what you can see for the entire week. Lots of cool stuff, like the Ursid meteor shower tonight. If you got clear skies, go out, view some shooting stars. By the way, you know what the shooting stars are, right? I mean, it's really incredible. They're no bigger than a grain of sand, most of those shooting stars, and they just fly through the air at incredible speeds, like 150,000 kilometers per hour. Something ridiculous like that. I can't even wrap my brain around that number. But at those speeds, it's like almost instantly, like a fraction of a second, they burn out. And that's what most meteors are, or shooting stars. It's really cool. They're not stars at all. They're just little sand grain size leftovers that are shed from comets that round the sun. And that's what they are. So really cool. How long can you view this in the sky for? Jade's asking. Well, Jade, this is when they're the closest, the two planets. But for the rest of this week and next week, you'll still see the two planets are going to be very close and just really nice to see. It'll be something that'll be very gratifying to see. So don't worry if you're clouded out. I know it's heartbreaking a little bit because of all the hoopla and buzz surrounding tonight, but even the next few days and weeks, it'll be nice. It'll be beautiful to see. And we get to see it at least virtually like this. I'm clouded out too. I got totally overcast and no chance of seeing it. What is the radiant of the shower? Enrique asks. Well, that's the Ursa Major, the big bear, and Ursa Minor, the little bear. Just in between those two constellations is where the radiant is. So that's where Ursids gets its name, from the constellation that they appear to radiate out from. Joyce is watching from the Colorado mountains. Great location. Kevin, Trinidad, Tobago, definitely beautiful skies. You guys should have beautiful skies there. Do check it out. Definitely you want to look at that. So this is fantastic. I mean, you can see we're here together watching this. It's been over an hour already, and it's just, they're still seeing it. I find the view maybe not as clear now, as the planets are probably setting locally, but it's really nice. Linda, you're welcome. So happy you could join us. So happy. What time is this really happening? Well, it's really, it depends on where you are. If on the East Coast of North America, it happened a little while ago just after when the sun set. We're on the West Coast here looking at a live stream from the Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles. And so it's 3 hours ahead. So it's only 6:12 p.m. there, and these planets are still above their horizon. For me here in Montreal on the East Coast, they've already set. They're following the sun, and they're not visible anymore. They've set below the horizon. But out on the West Coast, they're still up in the sky. Katie's asking about the meteors being visited. Well, the Ursids are really a northern hemisphere event centered on north side. You may see a straggler meteor, but it'll be hard to tell if it is the Ursids, because on any average night, Katie, any average night, clear night, you'll see about one shooting star every 15 minutes or so. So you will see shooting stars if you go out and it's clear. You will, if you're patient enough. But with the Ursids specifically, because they appear from the constellation Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, that area, it's quite close to the North Celestial Pole, near where the North Star is, and that is just way below the horizon for you in the Southern Hemisphere. So I'd say unlikely that you'll see, unless it's a straggler meteor. But like I said, there's always a wayward meteor that's visible any clear night. Catherine, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a good night. Did it happen yet? Well, it's happening now, and it's over a course of many hours and all day as the Earth is turning, and different people in different regions where the where night is setting, everyone gets a turn, their turn of viewing this close conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter. So we started in Asia very early this morning, my time in Montreal time, 5 o'clock in the morning, my time. They were already looking at it because the sun was setting where they are, and they were getting to see this in the southwest air skies. And then came folks in Europe, and then South America, and northeastern coast of North America, and now we're on the west coast of North America. That's really getting a great view, and then it'll be heading over the Pacific Ocean basin. Folks in Hawaii will get their chance too in a few hours as well. Yeah, exactly. Well, if you have kids that are, yeah, exactly, Katie. I totally get it. But there's always something to see. So stay tuned. There's a lot of other things in the sky. And if you have a binoculars and telescopes, seeing the planets like this is incredible. It really is. Oh my gosh, Deidre, I'm so jealous. You're out near Joshua Tree National Park, California. That has one of the best skies. And astrophotographers love that area because of their beautiful side. The Milky Way is just gorgeous from that national park. I've been out there and it's just breathtaking. Definitely take advantage of those beautiful skies. Thank you, Bessie. That's a wonderful. May love surround everyone. Keep looking up. Exactly. We're spreading good vibes here. That's what this is about, guys. Spreading away and then sharing a celestial historic event. The closest that Saturn and Jupiter have come in this close that's been visible to humans in 8 centuries. Nice of you to join us, Jill and Richard. Oh, 16-inch Dobsonian telescope. Richard, that's impressive. The views, I'm sure, are so beautiful. Do soak in those views because this is really just a fantastic for any skywatcher. And with you, with your telescope, Richard, you really are very fortunate. I'm sure you know that, being able to see them up close. Enjoy your views. This is a beautiful, beautiful event. It really is a beautiful show. Yeah. Raining in Toronto, eh? Oh, yes, I'm sad too. Here in Montreal, we're just totally clouded up. Probably will be getting your rain in a few hours by the morning. You could see all the moons. Olia says she could see all the moons through her photographs that she's been taking. That's fantastic. Jupiter's moons, incredible. Yes, those Galilean moons do come out on pictures. If you have enough magnification, they will come out. Yes, Maria, I know. I was dying to see it too. Cloudy, but at least we get to see it virtually together. Karen has 25 by 75 pair of Celestron binoculars. That's a really good pair of binoculars. I'm sure you get some fantastic views of this event. Definitely. Well, let's see. No, they're down. Looks like a lot of other views are not visible anywhere. Look at that. We are lucky we got that from the Griffith. We're very lucky. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. It's been a fantastic time. Thank you so much. Um, I'm hoping that we could see more of this, but I think the picture is now frozen for me. Looks like they might be towards the end. If not, I will post a link definitely for all of you guys in just below here on Facebook and YouTube, so you can carry on if you'd like and keep an eye on this view. I had a great time fantastic. All day I've been talking about the conjunction, trying to get everyone to view it, and so many of you came out for my show tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. The only thing missing, I guess, for me was popcorn. I wish I had popcorn for this view, but while we were talking, but this is thank you very much. It was a lot of fun, and we got to do this again for other celestial events, don't we? And so, from me to all of you, thank you. I hope you stay healthy and safe. Please show your support by subscribing, following my channel, making sure you share with your network so we can get as many people to look up at the skies, at the stars and planets, as many as we can. It really makes a difference, I think, in the world if we do that. So let's try to do that together. You guys are all my stargazing friends. Thank you for your support over the years, and I will be back in the next few days. Of course, over the holidays, I'll be posting stuff about what you can see in the sky, and every Monday, join me for my live stream. And you'll find out about all kinds of neat stuff. And if you sign up for my notifications and follow me on my pages, you won't miss anything that's happening in the night sky. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great evening or morning or day wherever you are around the world. And as always, I wish all of you clear skies. Bye-bye.